So treat everyone with kindness, as usual, but as the Bible says, be as gentle as a dove, but as crafty as a serpent.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Napoleon Hogan's Ministry. Today we are in chapter 27 of our 31 days in Proverbs, 31 days in Proverbs, 31 days in March. So as usual, I've got several verses here that I want to go over, but before I get into that, chapter 27 really is a culmination of a lot of different topics, quite honestly, like most of the Proverbs are. So chapter 27 really talks about like relationships, character development, and practical living, what that looks like, emphasizing the value of friendship and constructive criticism. Chapter 27 is really known for the verse that says, as iron sharpens iron, so does one sharpen another, speaking in a friendship, constructive criticism in that way, as well as the benefits of having those in your life who honestly can test and push you. So, as usual, there's a lot of verses that stood out to me, but I'm not going to go through all of them because, once again, we'd be here all day. And I will 100% be looking down at my laptop to read these to you. So if I'm looking down, that's why. Okay, verse 2 was the first verse that stood out to me. It says, let another praise you, not your own mouth, and a stranger, not your own lips. This is a good example of an aspect of humility, right? Humility doesn't mean like thinking less of yourself. It just means thinking of yourself less. And letting others, praise always sounds better and is more believable when it comes from someone other than yourself. If it's about you, it is just the way it's perceived, and that's just the way it is. Verse 6 says, the wounds of a friend are trustworthy, but the kisses of an enemy are excessive. Basically meaning, treat someone with excessive kindness, with a little bit of caution until you understand them better. And I do mean understand them better, where they're coming from, where they're wanting to go, what's their purpose. Because a friend will not be afraid of offending you. Someone who always wants to be on your good side, you might not need to have them in your life, because they could be planning something. They might want something from you, or they might want to be in the position that you're in. So treat everyone with kindness, as usual, but as the Bible says, be as gentle as a dove, but as crafty as a serpent. Verse 14 says, if one blesses his neighbor with a loud voice early in the morning, it will be counted as a curse to him. You know that saying, it's not what you say, but how you say it. And even when you say it, that's very much what this is talking about. Verse 19, as water reflects the face, so the heart reflects the person. If you figure out someone's motive, then you figure out that person. You cannot, your heart, just like this is saying, you cannot fool your heart. Your heart will always seep through your true motive. And if you let someone talk long enough, they'll show you what that is. It's not really that hard to figure out. But when it comes to yourself as well, what you do with your heart will come through. So, and what you choose to entertain yourself with, what you choose to meditate on, all of that affects your character and your heart. So if you want to be a person that other people can trust, and that has a good intentions, and other people can see good intentions, and other people can see being fake. I mean, it's that old saying, like, real recognizes real. If you're really there to help, people will really be able to see that. Now this one, verse 21, I thought was really, really good, because I hadn't quite seen it from this perspective just yet, or seen it from this perspective before. So it really caught my attention. Says, so verse 21 says, as a crucible refines silver and a smelter refines gold, so a person should refine his praise. And this is obviously talking about praise unto God, and the thought process of refining it, right? So yes, you need to be genuine in your worship, but refining it to a level of excellence is biblical. So it's biblical to have excellent worship at your church and in private. And when you pray and when you praise, it's not just throwing up whatever. You do want to refine your ability to communicate with God, whether that's in praise or in prayer. So verse 23 and verse 24, they go together. So I'm going to read them together. It says, know well the condition of your flock and pay attention to your herds. So that was verse 23. Verse 24. For wealth is not forever, not even a crown lasts for all time. So what this is saying is pay attention to what's going on in your life, in your money, in your relationships. Tend your field. Be present in the things that you're doing, because if you're not, things can start to die and you not even know, right? And then you wake up and realize, like, wow, how did I get here? Well, it's because you let go of the steering wheel and you weren't actively driving, or you weren't actively paying attention to what you're doing in your life. If you're not progressing in life, you are by definition going backwards. Okay, because life never stops. So if you're not growing, you're dying, right? There is no middle ground. People can say you can stagnate, but you're not really stagnating, you're dying, or you're just waiting to die. So this is basically just saying be active in your life and active in the things around you. So be active in your relationships and be intentional about your relationships, and be intentional about the work that you do at your job. Be intentional about your relationship with God. Be intentional about educating yourself. Be intentional about taking care of your body. This covers all aspects of your life. I know we were talking about Proverbs, but the last two verses make me think of 3 John 1 verses 2. It says, "Dear friend, I pray that you are prospering in every way and are in good health, just as your whole life is going well." It is the goal of, and the purpose, and the will of God for us to be prospering in every area of our life. Not just like with our money, but in every area of our life. So it would behoove us to make sure that we're being active in every area of our life, not giving way to complacency, which ultimately leads to destruction. Anything left towards itself tends towards destruction. That's just the way the world works. So if you want to maintain something, then you actually have to be involved to maintain it. Well, thank you for hanging out with me in this video today. Put what you got from this chapter in the comments below. I look forward to reading it. If this video blessed you in any way, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing it with someone you think that it'll be a blessing to. Until I'm back with chapter 28. God bless. Peace.
Got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pace stop.